Hello everyone, my name is Elzada and our alum team welcomes you to our YouTube channel. Each team member prepared a video lesson on the Anjela U programs for an easy understanding of her topic. So let's get started, and in this video we will analyze the topic CSS display property. The display property has many different meanings. The most common properties are block, inline block, and none. Block elements are stacked one above the other vertically, unless there are special positioning properties such as float. The block tends to expand to the full available width. You can specify the width and height explicitly. Many elements have this display by default. Divisions, headers, paragraphs, list and list items, as well as forms. So, I create two block elements, so we know that paragraphs are block elements. So, as you see, a paragraph called hello, another called world. The paragraph tag in CSS have a background color of red. So in the next page, you can see the entire paragraph takes up the whole width of the web page. So it's blocking any other element from being on the same line next to it on the right or on the left. So second common property is inline. The inline display elements are unlike block display elements. Inline value elements are located on the same line sequentially. The element's width and height are determined by the content. You cannot change them. Common inline elements are spans, image, and anchors. For example, in the code editor, we put span elements, and we also gave it background color of blue. Then you can see these elements are in line, and even if we had a whole bunch more of these spans, they would continue to be stuck in the same line. The span element and inline display element only takes up as much space as it needs to in the height and in its width. So you can see that the box around the span is only as large as it needs to be. Now you might wonder, why would we ever use block elements if we can simply use inline elements? Surely it seems far more flexible. Well, there is just one problem with inline elements. You can't actually change the width. So, what should we do if we wanted elements that can occupy the same line, but at the same time we can set their width? You can actually change type of display, which is called the inline block, and this kind of gives you the best of the both worlds. So, inline block. This value means an element that continues to be inline, but at the same time may have important block properties. Like an inline element located on a line, the size is set according to the content. In all other respects, it is a block, that is, the element is always rectangular. The width height properties work. So inline block allows to change width and able to make them go into the same line. On the editor, tag paragraph and tag span in CSS have display inline block. This display value used to display block and inline, including those of different on a single line. So we have now covered 3 out of the 4 display values that we have access to. The last one is the simply display none. The none value. The simplest meaning, the element is not as shown at all, as if it does not exist. Property none just gets rid of our element. So here we gave our second paragraph element class which call it P2 and set display value to none. And you can see what that does is that it simply removes that element from the website, as there is no gap between the first hello and the second hello. That world paragraph has now completely disappeared out of the flow of the document. As if it never was written inside the code, it's almost like we deleted it from the HTML. But of course we haven't. And all that we have done is just set its display value to none. Now, when you are trying to figure out how to hide things on your web page, there is 2 ways that you can do this. One is display none, as you have seen here, which takes that element out of the flow, and the other one is a property called visibility. And here you see that set to hidden, and what this does, it makes that element disappear, but it keeps its original position and all the other elements still flow around it. As if it's still there, it just can't be seen anymore. So, whenever you are trying to make things disappear or reappear, think about what effect you want to have and choose between these 2 properties. Because the position of elements on screen are determined by many things. The box model determines the size of the border, the size of the width and the height of the actual element, whether if it's display block or whether if it's display inline, whether if we are allowed to set its width or if we are not. But even before CSS comes into play, you have to remember that there is already rules that govern your HTML element should be displayed on screen. So to learn about that and to learn more about CSS positioning, we will see you on the next lesson. I hope it was informative. Put like, subscribe to our channel, and see you soon.